Today, Denver police revealed new information related to a deadly shooting outside a Denver middle school last week. DPD says officers fired nearly 40 rounds at a suspect after he fired first. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Christensen.
I'm Alexandra Lewis. The shooting between officers and a man they were trying to question happened outside of Kepner Beacon Middle School on June 23rd. The man died. The woman on the scene ran away. 9 News reporter Jennifer Mackles joins us from Denver. Jennifer, police released body camera footage of this shooting, and we saw it for the first time today.
Yes, we did, Alex. So I want to be able to describe for you a little bit first of what you're going to see, and then we will play that body camera video for you. So the initial call about these 2 people at Kepner that night, police tell us, came in as a trespassing call. DPD officers and DPS patrol officers, the school district zone officers, they both showed up to the scene. Initially, police tell us that the 2 people involved were very compliant. It was a civil conversation. They gave their names and their birthdays, and the officer, the DPD officer, takes those names back to his patrol vehicle and runs them looking to see if they had an active warrant. You're going to see here the moments that they first interact, and then after that, the moments where things turn. We've cut the audio. You can't hear that moment because there are a lot of profanity that happens, followed by the gunshots, but watch the initial interactions here.
You're not in trouble. We just have to talk to you.
What?
You're on a school.
Oh. Through,
I know. You were sitting up on the thing, so that's why the school folks came out. And they're just worried about making sure.
Just looking through our stuff because we lost our stuff, went back to Pizza Hut, grabbed it, and now we're walking back.
Cool.
Good?
No, I got to talk to you, man. I'm sorry. We got to do the whole thing.
This is the part where things immediately turn. Police say the man immediately took off running. They say not too much longer, he turned around and fired at police first. Police tell us that 3 different officers fired back, 2 of them DPD officers and 1 of them a DPS officer. Police tell us that they collectively fired 38 rounds and the man fired 8 rounds. We asked the chief if that was an appropriate response. Police Chief Ron Thomas emphatically defended the officer's actions, and he also characterized this situation as something that was starting as cooperative and then turned very quickly to be different.
This incident very quickly turned from one in which compliance had been gained due to the actions of this individual, turned into one that was frighteningly dangerous, threatened the lives of the community and 3 dedicated public servants.
Police tell us that the man died at the hospital from his injuries. They also tell us that both of those individuals, whenever they ran the warrants on their names, came back with active parole violations, both the man and the woman. The woman took off that night. Police still have not connected with her. On the man, they said they found a gun, additional ammunition, as well as suspected drugs. We've asked, is there any reason why they were at Kepner that night? Is there a connection to the school? Police said they don't really know why Kepner, nothing obvious as a connection to that school. It's all part of the investigation. This whole shooting with officers is under investigation, and we're told that all 3 of the officers involved, again, 2 from DPD, 1 from DPS, none of them were involved in any prior police shootings. Guys?
A lot more information, no doubt. Still a lot more to learn, but that video tells us a lot. Thank you, Jenny.
Colorado State Patrols say a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old were among those who died in a crash on I-70 yesterday. CSP says the Subaru was traveling eastbound on I-70 when it hit the back of a trailer being hauled by a semi. The crash spun the Subaru out of control, caused it to roll over. The driver, a 62-year-old man from Montana, was seriously injured. 47-year-old woman and those 2 children were killed in the crash. Coming up on 9 News at 5, Jaleesa Irizarry speaks to a man who witnessed this all happen, and he also helped the driver immediately after.
Right now, I-70 westbound is closed at the Eisenhower-Johnson tunnels after a crash between a pickup truck and a semi that ended with 1 vehicle on fire. This is a terrible weekend, or terrible time, I should say, for this highway to be closed. CSP says the person in the pickup truck did die at the scene, as did a dog. So this investigation is going to take some time. Drivers are strongly encouraged to avoid traveling into the high country right now because that closure is in place for at least a few more hours. So that's going to be a tough drive. Let's take a live look outside. It was really a beautiful day here in Denver. Hot, plenty hot. Blue skies, though, over the city. We'll take it.
Let's check in with Chris, though, because I know you are tracking, some potential storms and activity headed our way.
Yeah, I think tonight we could actually be talking about some storms in parts of the I-25 corridor. More tonight rather than today. So the next few hours, you've got jog, dog walk. It's just really hot out there. Otherwise, we're mostly okay. 92 here in the 9 News backyard, 91 out at the airport, 98 again for us in Greeley here in Denver. Our third consecutive day and are above 90 degrees. But look in the mountains here. That's a rain-cooled 52 in Telluride, 63 in Gunnison. There's also rain-cooled. We do have some widespread showers and storms rumbling their way through the western slope, Montrose County on north here through Grand Junction. Again, the western slope getting in on some of that rain. Highway 550 seeing some of that rain. Same for us along Highway 50 as well. And some hit or miss showers and storms to get up to Eagle Vale and north to Steamboat Springs. A little bit more isolated as you get north of I-70. Metro area, though, mostly quiet for now. We do have a few showers trying to bubble on up in Teller County. Now, as we head over the next few hours, we'll see some widespread mountain storms in the metro area. Pretty isolated stuff, but notice late tonight, we do get some action, especially in Larimer and Weld County. So if you're watching me from Fort Collins, or if you're joining us from Greeley, we could be talking about some storms up there later on tonight after dark. Now, these aren't going to be widespread. The severe weather threat is low. We're not talking about, the baseball-sized hail that we had a couple weeks ago in the middle of the night, nothing like that, but we will have some rumbles of thunder late tonight. And we could have a few of those around for tomorrow afternoon for your 4th of July forecast. I'm going to have details on that and break it down hour by hour. I know it's an important forecast. We're going to get into all of it for you in just a few minutes.
Today, the House of Representatives narrowly passed the massive spending and tax cuts bill that the president has been pushing for months.
2 Republicans joined all Democrats in voting against the bill, which will cut social safety net programs in order to fund tax cuts and spending increases for the military and border security. NBC's Julie Surkin has the latest.
After a week of twists and turns, strong-arm tactics, and backroom deals, President Trump's signature tax cuts and spending bill is headed to his desk to be signed into law.
The motion is adopted.
The final House vote coming one day before a Trump-imposed July 4th deadline and hours after the bill appeared to be in trouble, with hardline fiscal conservatives and other Republicans threatening to vote no. But ultimately, the bill passed with no changes.
A lot of members genuinely needed time to digest what the Senate sent over.
House leaders credit the president with convincing holdouts to get in line.
He was, directly engaged. He was available. If anybody had a question, they could go straight to him.
With little power to stop it, House Democrats slammed the so-called big beautiful bill during floor debate.
My House Republican colleagues, have you no shame?
And delayed the vote by hours.
House Democrats are going to stand up.
8.5 hours, to be clear, because Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries set a new record for the longest floor speech in history. Democrats in the minority could not stop the bill from passing, but Jeffries says the fight is not over.
That no matter what the outcome is on this singular day, we're going to press on. We're going to press on.
The bill makes permanent the 2017 Trump tax cuts, slashes funding for Medicaid and food aid programs. It increases funding for border security and the military. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimates the bill will add more than $3 trillion to the national debt and will strip health care coverage from more than 11 million people. Republicans dismiss those projections.
Unleashing a rising tide of prosperity, securing our border, modernizing our national defense, and supercharging energy, agriculture, all the sectors of our economy.
The president will head to Iowa tonight for a rally, and tomorrow he will sign the big, beautiful bill at the White House, according to sources, amid all the July 4th celebrations and festivities there. In Washington, Julie Surkin, NBC News.
A small gathering in Summit County today had people remembering the tragic Flight for Life helicopter crash that took the life of the pilot and injured 2 other people in Summit County 10 years ago. It's been a decade since an Airbus Flight for Life helicopter took off from St. Anthony's Summit Medical Center and crashed shortly after. The crash killed the pilot, Patrick Mahaney, a Vietnam veteran who received the Bronze Star and Purple Heart, and seriously injured 2 others on board when that helicopter exploded and caught on fire. Today, nearly 100 people gathered near Frisco in Summit County in the Mahaney Heroes Park, dedicated to Patrick. Friends and family, including Patrick's son, who is also a helicopter pilot, shared stories and remembered that day 1 year ago.
His son is a helicopter pilot for the Army. Both Matt and Lee are going to be here, and a lot of family. So it is an important milestone, 10 years. I've already had probably 20 texts this morning from people saying, I can't believe it's been that long, but time really does pass, and we just want to make sure that, that this is never forgotten.
An investigation into the crash determined it was due to hydraulic issues, but the helicopter might not have burst into flames if not for faulty fuel tanks and better safety equipment.
Our 9 News Investigates team spent years working on the issue of ineffective fuel systems on board a significant portion of our country's helicopter fleet. The Flight for Life that crashed in Frisco 10 years ago had a fuel tank that was largely plastic. It ruptured upon impact and led to the catastrophic fire that burned more than 90% of flight nurse Dave Repsher's skin. Since that crash, Mahaney's wife Karen and Repsher have spoken all over the country on the need for not just better fuel systems, but more safety measures for all helicopters. Congress did pay attention to our reporting, and in 2018, it passed legislation that requires all newly built helicopters to have crash-resistant fuel systems on board.
The Nuggets are finalizing a deal to land their top new assistant coach under David Adelman. ESPN reports that Jared Dudley is set to join the coaching staff. He's coming from the Dallas Mavericks, where he's been an assistant coach there since 2021. Before then, Dudley played in the NBA for 7 teams across 15 seasons. He won a championship with the Lakers in the bubble in 2020. Now he is set to be the go-to guy for the Nuggets' new permanent head coach.